Hi, if you're building or renovating, then take an action and what you learn in this short training video will be the most valuable thing you do for years. Now, I know that is a big statement, but I can say that because it will help you avoid the number one most costly mistake people make when doing a building project. Have you ever heard the term on time and on budget? If not, this concept is an important one. On time and on budget is a term used in all big projects, from construction to IT to building roads. All projects are trying to meet their target. On time and on budget refers to completing a project within the planned time frame and within the planned budget. Many times this doesn't happen, and for your project, this is bad news. There are many reasons projects might not come in on time and on budget, but by far the number one reason is lacking of planning in the early phases. So here's the thing. At some point during your project, you are going to discover a way to make your project better. This is a given. It always happens. It could be a design change. It could be a window or a door in a better place. It could be the layout of a room. It might be a design that saves you money or dramatically improves the livability of the spaces. But sooner or later, you're going to want to make a change. And when shortcuts are taken early on and people rush into the design phase, then people do not discover all the options they had or what they really wanted until the concrete has been poured. Without getting a full needs and options review conducted before the builder gets on site, homeowners regularly shortchange their design. Late discovery of your real needs or options leaves you crying, if only I'd known. This is why we created the Needs and Options Review. Now, there are 5 phases during a project when changes can be made. Number one being the Needs and Options Review, then the concept design stage, followed by building documentation, bidding and negotiation, and construction phase. Now, if you discover better options early, then you can make the changes effortlessly. Make your discoveries late and you pay exponentially more, or worse, live in a home where you settled for a lesser option. This little chart here indicates how costs change the later you make changes. You can see in the beginning at the Needs and Options Review, the costs are relatively inexpensive. But as you move further along the project, we get down to the construction phase. Changes can cost up to 50 times more. As we say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. With the Needs and Options Review, you will never have to utter those tragic words, if only I'd known. So take a look at this graph. Time is on the bottom, on the x-axis. As time progresses from left to right, the opportunity to make changes decreases. This is what this line shows. This is common sense. It is a lot easier to change the location of a concrete footing before it has been placed in the ground. Now this graph represents the relative cost to make a change. As you can see, as time progresses, changes get increasingly more expensive. The best time to make a change is at the beginning of a project. This is why a thorough needs and options review should be the first step. As Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 9 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 6 sharpening my axe. Old Abe Lincoln understood that proper preparation early on can save a lot of time and effort in the long run. Or put into common modern terms, my firm favourite, measure twice, cut once. When we lay over these two charts, you can see that at the beginning of a project, the opportunity to change is at its greatest. And at the end of the project, the cost to make changes is at its greatest. It is at this point in the project that we want to avoid making changes. We want to make changes on the left side, exploring all your options. This is why a proper needs and options saves you time and money. So, you may be asking, do I need a needs and options review? Here's a quick test to find out. Take out a pen and paper and give yourself a score for each of the following questions. I'll wait. Okay, here's the first question. Out of 10, with 0 being not at all and 10 being completely clear, how clear are you on exactly what you need? Second question. Out of 10, how aware are you of all the various options your site would accommodate? Next question. Out of 10, how confident are you that you are aware of all the legal requirements? Next question. Out of 10, how aware are you of the process you will need to have in place to get the project completed on time and on budget? And last question, out of 10, how confident are you that your budget will achieve your needs? Okay, let's tally up your scores. And don't worry about not being able to answer all of these questions yet. The needs and options review will allow me to fill in the gaps and get you ready to move to the design phase. The first step you will need to complete is the needs and options review. Now, I designed this process a few years ago because I saw a huge issue in the construction industry of people starting design and construction before they had fully done their research and homework. I would see many renovation projects going over time and over budget. The consequences of inaccurate upfront research of needs and options is like building a house on bad foundations. The foundations are the most important part of the whole house because everything is built on top. It's very expensive to change the foundations once you have started to build on them, but it's very easy to change them if they are simply lines on a page. This is what makes me different. I spend more time on the research than most other design firms who rush their clients into the design phase. I take a different approach. In fact, I will only work with clients who are prepared to do the needs and options review properly. I will not rush this step. It only causes cost overruns later if we take shortcuts and don't establish solid foundations. The needs and options review is the most important step because it lays foundations for a successful project. Okay, here's a question. Can I save money by not paying for a needs and options review? Sure, you could skip this step and meet with somebody who gives you a few ideas for free before rushing into the design phase. But by not investing the time, a full needs and option review in depth can be the most expensive decision you make during your project. The most cost-effective time to discover all your options is now. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this brief training video, and I look forward to working with you soon. To book your needs and options review, please complete the form below, and someone will be in contact with you shortly to schedule a suitable time for both of us to meet.